Hey everyone, how's it going? I am Xeracon and I am back once again. Remember back in April when the price of the Nintendo Switch 2 was revealed, and Nintendo said that the Switch 1 was going to be a cheaper, more affordable alternative? Well, that didn't last long. Nintendo has recently announced that it's raising the prices of not only the Nintendo Switch consoles, but also Switch accessories as well. This includes controllers, amiibo, and the Alarmo. It seems like the controllers have gone up by $10 based on my memory of prices previously, and amiibo are going up by $5. You know, I remember when amiibo were $13. Then they raised the price to $15, which is roughly around when I was tapping out of the Nintendo market. Now they're $20. And I remember when only giant amiibo like Detective Pikachu and Woolly Yoshi or dual sets were $30. Now we have regular sized amiibo for $40. Street Fighter branding or not, this is absurd. And come to think of it, Ryu and Ken were priced the same as the other amiibo, so that reasoning goes out the window. But still, the biggest offense is the console pricing. $230 for a Switch Lite, $340 for a Nintendo Switch, $400 for a Switch OLED. Are you kidding me? This is supposed to be the cheaper alternative? And while it's technically true that this is cheaper than a Switch 2, it's also technically true that slamming a door on your finger is better than being bitten by a rattlesnake. And what is this supposed to do? Make the price of the Switch 2 look better? Well, you could pay $400 for a Switch OLED, or for $50 more, you could buy a Switch 2. Now, I've said this before and I'll say it again. For what the hardware the Switch 2 provides, the pricing of the console itself isn't that bad. It's actually pretty reasonable. The pricing of the games is ridiculous, but I have no quarrel with the console price. So why mark this up? And while it's easy to grill Nintendo for this, and I have no problems with doing that, this isn't the only company doing this. Microsoft has raised the prices of its consoles in other countries and started raising the prices here in the US earlier this year. And while Sony hasn't raised the prices here yet, other countries have seen price increases. And here's why I'm bringing this all up. It shouldn't be this way. These consoles are 5+ years old. Why haven't we seen a price drop during this time, especially for the Switch, which is 8 years old? And before someone says, "Ma tariffs, it's Donald Trump's fault," why couldn't they have lowered the prices before then? Trump's only been in office for 8 months? And the tariffs were announced in February? Are you telling me that there wasn't any time before then that prices couldn't have been dropped? I'm going to sound like an old boomer, but I'm just going to say it anyway. Back in my day, after a period of time had passed for a console, its price was dropped. Okay, I already feel a little regret doing that. But seriously, my parents bought me a discounted GameCube for $100, $50 cheaper than the original price. I bought my Nintendo DS for $100, $30 cheaper than the original price. I bought my Wii U for $300, $50 cheaper than the original price. And other consoles during these generations had their markdowns as well. Sure, the early birds got to experience those things first, but the patient ones got to pay less for those experiences. This is a mentality that I've grown to have when I buy games. Why pay $60 or $70 for a game at launch that might have bugs, several expansion packs, and or might not be worth it for that price, when I can wait a year or two and get it for less than $40 and end up having a complete edition? But I digress. We're supposed to be in the period where console prices go down, and because they've done the complete opposite, that can only mean one thing. There could never be a price drop for a console ever again. You might think this is extreme thinking, but if people are willing to let companies raise the prices for games up to $70, I see no reason why they wouldn't let the price increase for the console slide. They're conditioned to just accept whatever mega corporations give them, and that's why things have gotten worse and not better. It's why we have season pass announcements and pre-order bonuses for exclusive content before a game even releases. It's why features and extras that were unlocked by playing games are now locked behind a paywall. Because why think when you can just consume?
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
And while there were external factors like crypto miners and AI bros contributing to these sales, every PC gamer who has purchased an RTX 4090 or 5090 is also guilty of the same thing. There's no reason why a GPU should cost upwards of $1,500. I've even seen 5090s that cost $3,000. At that price, the entire system better run off the GPU. If you've contributed to that, you're part of the problem as to why GPU prices keep going up when they shouldn't be. An extra shame to those who had a 3090, then bought a 4090, and then bought a 5090. You are making this platform worse. And for crying out loud, please do not buy any of AMD's or Nvidia's new GPUs that have 8GB of VRAM. We should be moving past that standard for new graphics cards. Now, some might say that it's their money and they can spend it how they want, and fair enough, that's true. However, when your spending habits impact my spending habits, that's when there's an issue. If you want to freely give these companies your money, by all means, go ahead. Create a GoFundMe so you can help these poor corporations earn a decent living. Maybe you can start a non-profit like the ASPCA. For only 50 cents a day, you can help Jensen Huang afford another leather jacket.
The more GPUs you buy, the more money you save. That's right. The more GPUs you buy, the more money you save.
But for the rest of us who like saving money or want to be frugal with our spending, leave the rest of us out of it. We just want to enjoy our games and not break the bank or be ripped off just to do it. But that will do it for today. So until next time, everyone, I am iamxeracon signing off. Have a good one.